Here we go, boys. The VTuber who harassed many. I'm ready.
About is just how overly flirtatious and sensual those in the indie VTuber community can be. And no, I'm not talking about the lewd tubers who stay in their lane, creating content on their own platforms, and otherwise remaining professional when not in creator mode. What I am talking about are the people who happen to be grown adults, mind you, who act like high schoolers discovering puberty for the first time, who can't stop being thirsty over the next
like
moving thing that'll remotely
internet,
entertain
right?
them for an iota of a second. These adults, these quote-unquote mature people over the age of 18, taint the population of VTubers with their frankly disgusting behavior, seeking sexual gratification and e-dating urges like it's Tinder, but on Twitter or Discord. Let's talk about one such prolific and disgusting creator known as Torakaru, the so-called Tiger Demigod VTuber, who has harassed many female-presenting VTubers and even committed assault. Before we get into it, though,
maybe that's why they
points.
call him the Tiger.
First, everything described here is alleged. Also, please do not
puts
harass
his
any
claws in
individuals
ya.
mentioned in this video. At the time of writing this script, Torakaru has already deactivated his Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. His Twitch is still up, but with a default profile picture, no about section, and all his videos and clips have been hidden or deleted. On the other hand, you should support the victims that'll be mentioned in this video. I'll be sure to include their links in the description below with a source to their stories and experiences. Please give your warm support for those affected and support them on their VTuber journey as they recover and move on from this dark time in their life. In addition, this video will contain mentions of sexual harassment, assault, and even grooming allegations. I understand these topics can be very distressing, so please, click away from the video if you do not wish to see or hear about this. Your own mental health is important.
My whole
Please
world
take care of yourself.
has
Without
changed
further
from
ado,
VTubers.
let us talk about Torakaru, the sex pest.
The sex pest? That's what
Honey?
they call him. No!
Honey, you're such a good girl.
You can't make this up if you tried!
Hi, baby girl.
You can't make this up!
Daisuki-da-yo.
I would
can't
be
make
your
this-
sugar daddy, on God, no cap, and give you everything that I could possibly.
Emily. I love Emily so much. 大変でした。とにかく、またね。
If this guy wasn't a sexual predator, who is, right?
Need metal? Chances are we have it in your size.
Get out of here.
OnlineMetals.com.
Torakaru, as far as I know, has been a VTuber since 2022. His first design is an orange-haired catboy with an olive green jacket with a light brown or tannish fur-lined hood. He seemed to have this design for a while, and it wasn't until probably around 2023 when his 2.0 design was being teased that I personally became aware of this guy on Twitter. And from the get-go, I got bad vibes about this guy. I don't know what it was exactly, as my memory doesn't go back that far, but I'm pretty sure it went something a little like this.
Also,
His design teaser popped off. He started getting hundreds of follows, inflated his ego and clout on the platform. And the dude kind of gave, like, e-boy answers in the replies, playboy vibes. He just seemed super flirty towards women, and I didn't like that. I don't know what it was exactly, but either way, I dislike this guy from the get-go.
women are sexy.
I think he also subtweeted about other guys
he knew
complaining
it.
about his design
Except
popping
he knew
off.
it
That
too
gave him a
much,
bunch
a
of
little
followers,
too hard, if you
and
know
that
what I'm
just
saying.
further pushed me away. Needless to say, though, I am biased against this guy, and I'm not afraid to admit that. Anyway,
He's a
his 2.0
dickhead.
design looks like this. Longer orange hair with a small black strand, tiger-like ears, has that Dorito-shaped body with broad shoulders, skinnier waist, washboard abs, thick arms, and fat man tits that a lot of people seem to enjoy in this space. Not my thing, though. As well as flaming green flames motif and a spirit tiger toggle. Taking away the man piloting the VTuber, this is honestly a pretty cool design. It's eye-catching, appealing, has a good color palette, and really sells the Tora equal tiger motif. The model artist, Ranchu, did an amazing job and their art is fantastic. It's just a shame that this guy who commissioned the model turned out to be a massive creep, to which we'll get into very shortly. Content creating wise, he seemed to engage in karaoke's, ASMR content, just chatting streams, and playing games. He was also a prolific Skeb user, racking up costs of over 1 million yen from Skebs alone, which in this case probably equated to about over $7,000. Scab for the uninitiated, by the
$7,000
way,
for
is a
Scab.
platform where you can get art done by Japanese creators at a relatively affordable price, at the caveat of not being able to communicate any feedback or changes during the actual art creation process. I personally compare it to like a gacha, but with art of your OCs, and I can definitely see how it's addicting. But anyway, in this case, Tora often got art of himself and NSFW art of him and his mutuals or friends engaged in lewd or explicit acts. He even went so far as to make a few lists, one of which was called
That's-
Tora's Breeding List, where he put literally hundreds of people in to eventually
That's
get
so
NSFW
strange.
art with. Like, how fucking horny do you have to be to get NSFW art with even over a dozen people? That's actually gross. And sure, it says meme list, but you'll find out this guy is 100% not memeing. Just wait. Unfortunately, on the surface, it seemed like this guy had a solid reputation in the community, even with all his questionable, lewd content, with very little being spoken badly about this guy except for the few that just didn't vibe with him since the beginning. Perhaps
don't
this is
vibe
because
with
the
anybody.
VTuber community, especially around 2022 and 2023, is what I'd personally consider pretty hypersexual, in
Yeah.
that flirty comments were everywhere, and
Okay.
people often encroach boundaries unprompted. I don't know if that's ever been fixed, or if I just finally muted enough people or hermited into my own corner enough to see less of it in 2024, but that was definitely a noticeable thing when I was starting out in my VTuber career.
Right.
Anyway, on March 17th, 2024, a brave victim by the name of Lily, the strawberry moo-tuber, spoke up about her experience with Tora in the Los Angeles area around the time of Anime Expo 2023. I will be summarizing her document and focusing on certain parts to make the script flow
If I go to
better,
Anime Expo,
but I
I
strongly
gotta take
advise that
V.
if you have the time
We
to
gotta go with
please
her and
read
her
her
husband.
document yourself. It's concise and to the point, and Lily
Okay,
can
we
explain
would all
her
go together. I'm
situation
gonna
and
report it.
experience much better than a retelling by anyone else.
Every instant of my life.
In
I would
Lily's
go with
document, she
Dawn.
talks about how she was going to meet up with a group
think
of
people would
friends
be
in the LA
interested in that
area
for
in
sure.
2023. Her friends were going to AX, and she was going to the Hololive concert. At this time, Tora and Lily had been friends for over a year, and, quote, Tora unfortunately was like my rock when I was coming out of a rough breakup back in December of 2022. I hung out on a server and with everyone else there to cope and take my mind off things. And since he had helped me, I was willing to look past some things he said, whatnot. I was vulnerable, and I guess in a very human way wanted attention that I missed. Tora knew how to press every button and had known me long enough to figure out how to get me to even slightly reciprocate. I let my walls and guard down, and around this time I had even begun catching feelings for him. It was during this time between April leading up to AX in July that Tora ramped up the flirting. He mentioned how he wants to have intimate acts with her, sent her an unsolicited photo, asked for lewds and all.
Look at the statement. We're both doing actually sexy. I'm not sexy, silly. Dude, I
audio, wanting to make out, and even admitted to taking care of himself when listening to her voice on stream. This is not an isolated incident, by the way. Tora has been doing this behavior to other
I wanna
VTubers,
vomit.
which we'll
I
talk
just
more
want to
about
vomit
later.
when I see this man now.
But already, you can tell this guy is bad news. Not only is he extremely horny to the point that it's obscene and quite disgusting, it gets even worse. They meet up after the day's events to take an Uber to the Airbnb to meet more of Lily's VTuber friends. It's at this time, waiting for their Uber, that Tora admits he's actually been seeing someone for a few months now and doesn't actually want to do anything intimate with Lily. Lily is upset for having been led on for months leading up to this day, which is understandable given the mixed signals this guy kept giving out.
Wait,
During the Uber ride there, Tora held her
down?
hand and apologized, badgering her if she forgave him, which is already gross for invading her personal space without consent in the first place.
As a university
Whoa.
student who does a lot of writing for her
Hold
assignments, upgrading to Grammarly Premium has saved me countless
If someone's mad at you, don't touch them.
He did apologize, right? In this case, he said he was sorry. If he really was in a relationship, he knew better. He shouldn't have broke it. He did all those weird things, but he did apologize, and he did, I guess he did the right thing because he didn't break his relationship. I'm sorry. I know he's bad for leading her on, but at the same time, I think he probably did the right thing here.
It's simple. But unfortunately, when they stayed at their friend's Airbnb for the night, all would not be good and relaxing. While resting on different parts of a very large couch, Tora had crawled over on top of Lily and whispered into her ear, kissing her cheek. Lily describes her experience in harrowing, emotionally poignant words of how she felt trapped and afraid. She did not consent. She did not agree for this to happen. She did not want this to happen. It's horrible. No one should be put into this vulnerable state. Thankfully, Tora was not given the chance to do further harm. Her friend, Laser, heard the commotion and checked in on them, causing Tora to practically leap away and feign innocence. An image taken by Tora after the encounter is proof that Laser, indeed, was checking on them, and this image was passed off as Laser looking ominous in the doorway of his room because it was the only lit thing around them. After that night, Lily confronted him on the 13th of July of 2023 about the situation, where he avoided discussing the assault. It was later in the first quarter of 2024 that she was able to properly process and come to terms that the situation she was forced into was assault. On March 15th of 2024, she canceled an upcoming collab she had with him and no longer wanted to be his friend. She gives receipts about that exchange, which you can see in full in her document, but a few interesting words I've noticed from Tora are how he immediately asks if there's anyone else involved that he should know about, which is already suspect because either he's getting ready to block or try to appeal to them in private. Then, not only does he proceed to fail at apologizing by saying sorry it came off that way and never using the word assault to—
I take it back. The guy's a creep, right? He had tried to do the right thing, but his sexual urges overcome his logical perspective. That's too bad. He tried, and then he failed. He tried and he failed. And I really do feel bad for him having a messed up mind and for her to have to go through this.
describe his actions.
Really a pain.
But he did admit he got on top of her and did unconsensual acts towards her, which prove Lily's story. At the end of their exchange, he even double checks to try get this to stay between them and says not to impulsively make a twit longer, which is really gross and manipulative behavior. He clearly knows he's in the wrong and that Lily has evidence via his own reaffirming statements that he's done wrong things to her, and he clearly doesn't want this to go public because it'll ruin his reputation. But you know what? Good on Lily for standing up to her guns and airing out her truth regardless of what Toro tried to weasel his way out of.
Yeah.
Because of her strength to publicize her document, it led to a cascade of everyone who's ever been done dirty by this man who finally have the courage to air out their grievances as well. When I say this guy is a sex pest, I really do mean he's a sex pest. If you don't know what this means, a sex pest is a person who sexually harasses or assaults another person. This man has done numerous things, ranging from petty behavior such as follow and unfollowing creators to bait them to follow him back, to more disgusting behavior such as sending unsolicited pictures and lewd audios, as well as trying to get their IRL name and pictures. This man truly viewed other VTubers as if their only object—
Admits to rape. Why is the origin Britain? Wait, why is the origin Britain? I don't know. I don't understand the statement. Can you describe what you just said? I don't understand. But he did admit to rape. Yeah, he did it, and he wrote it down too, so there's no denying it. I can't spell. Oh, okay.
Of pleasure for himself to use to get off to,
Sex pest
and not
is
an
British
actual
word.
human being who
I did not
deserved
know that.
respect. I've seen dozens of testimonies and experiences
Oh,
from
because
those
it
that
was in
have
the
interacted with
video.
this man.
I'm a moron.
It all boils down to one simple thing. This man sexually harassed all these people.
Wait, there's
But,
more?
I'm getting a little ahead of myself.
We got a
For this
real
section,
winner
I'll be
here,
going
boys.
over all the testimonies that I encountered on Twitter. This
we
might
go.
be long, but I truly want to emphasize just how much of a sex pest this guy truly was. And that, again, none of this is exaggerated or fake or an isolated
Wait,
incident.
it's not exaggerated?
All of
These
this
all
happened to all these people, and my heart goes out to each and every
Here
one
we
who became a
go.
victim to this guy's horrible
wait,
behavior.
he said he was in a
Their
relationship
Twitter
and
handles
has
will
a
be in the
girlfriend.
corner as we go over each of their stories.
Wait.
If you can, please support these victims.
Wait.
Do you know what Displate is?
Ah!
It's a
I
metal
don't care
poster.
about Displate.
It's sturdy. You hang it on a magnet.
Okay, here we go.
Akon Sapphire is one of the first few people to speak out, backing up Lily's statements with a statement of their own. In these screenshots, they recollect that Tora made them feel good about their body and voice. He made them feel confident and sexy. They flirted a lot and consensually for a time, almost met up, but they didn't. They remember Tora bragging about how he had a sexual encounter with Lily at the Airbnb, and weren't made aware that Tora had been in a relationship until 3 months after he began dating his partner. Akon realized they were being led on and began to distance themselves. They also recollect an incident where Tora got drunk on livestream and openly bragged about how he was going to have intimate relations with Akon when they met up. Tora also had an audio recording that Akon was going to allow him to suck their breasts when they met up. And according to Tora, since it was pre-recorded consent, they could not take it back. Just to clarify, this is not how consent works. Consent has to be given at the time of any action being done, and it has to be clear and enthusiastic. If there is any hesitance, any reluctance, it is not consent. It has to be a yes. Tora would have been wrong if he tried to do this terrible action to Akon,
I
since
got a
they would
whole
not be
different
consenting.
perspective on
From the sounds of
VTubers now.
things, it does not seem like they
After
met
this
up,
stream,
which is a relief.
I mean,
Shoko provides a bit more context,
Oh,
reaffirming
another
that
one. Here
Tora
we
didn't
go.
have much influence almost 2 years ago when he was at 1,000 followers compared to 22,000 in 2024. Shoko also mentions
This
how
man got
Tora wanted
22,000
basically private
followers?
information that would dox themselves. And even after saying no, Tora asked again. That's fucked up behavior. As VTubers, many like their anonymity. Do not go harassing VTubers, or any creator for that matter,
you have
for personal
22,000
information like that.
followers?
First, it's not safe,
Bruh.
especially if you're a minor. And second of all, it's none of your goddamn business. Ren,
You
an
could've-
artist by the handle
She was a
Ren
minor?
Draws Disney, also lists out the
This-
numerous
dude,
lists that they were put into that
guy.
Tora had managed.
This
One is the infamous
guy.
Tora's breeding list.
Tora
another
has
being
a
Tora's
breeding
harem,
list?
and another being Tora's brain melters. I like how he tries to pass his sexual harassment off as, oh, it's just a meme list. When, nah, this is just harassing if people didn't ask for it. But it's also wild that literally hundreds of people are in this list. Like, that's just gross. Why do you have so many girls on here? Another victim is Zion, who has given us many screenshots of their interaction with
Dude, this
Tora.
proves-
You can see in these screenshots that Tora basically immediately starts with, I love you. Compliments on a physical
This
attraction.
guy
in
makes
this
all
case, the
men look
model.
bad.
Spams them with I love
This
yous,
makes
despite Zion's
every
clear
guy
reluctance
look
and
bad.
ews, which I think are really funny. Tora then tries
Please,
asking for
internet,
pics,
please.
kind of tries peer
Men aren't
pressuring or
this
pestering
bad,
to get
trust
those
me.
pics. And then once he
Please,
gets
there's
said
good
pics,
people
he
out
love
there.
bombs some more. Starts saying he'll smash and smooch. He seems to do random messages that objectify his target. Zion gives another example where they wanted to report a notification bug to Discord and asked Tora to help, and he immediately spams them with NSFW comments. Also, keep in mind these dates on the screenshot for every victim going forward.
Internet,
It'll
help
be
me
relevant
get
for
a
later. eBay Shoujo
Well,
speaks out about her
here-
experience in
dude, it
2022
keeps-
where they had a no flirting in their bio.
How many
Guess who tried
girls
to
are
circumvent
there?
that? You guessed it, Tora. I fucking hate this guy, I swear to God. Fruit, despite telling him she was married, was not spared from
This
Tora's
guy went
harassment.
after a marriage
Instead of
too?
thinking it was just joking around, Tora had admitted he took care of
he has
himself after looking at
22,000
an IRL pic
followers.
and said
He could go
NSFW
get a
things towards her
girlfriend.
regardless of
I'm
her
sure
marital
one-
status.
out of 22,000
EUA
followers,
expresses their experience with Tora in
absolutely
a thread.
there's a girl in there that
Unfortunately,
would
at the
like him.
time, they were in a
If he
vulnerable
really
state in
wanted
their
to
life
find
and fell
someone,
for
he
the
could-
attention and love
it
that
would be
Tora seemed to
way
bombard them
easier
with.
than any
They were
of this.
unfortunately led on and goaded into a
Yeah, that's
flirtatious
abuse
and
of your
pure
audience, and you
interaction
shouldn't
before
do
they
it,
knew
but
it.
man,
And I find it truly harrowing
man,
and
stop.
disgusting that this man was taking advantage of
Your
UA
heart
like
be
this.
mine?
They shared some screenshots of the interactions as proof,
about meeting
and it's just
one?
wild how out of pocket
my-
and shameless this guy is. I hope
oh
UA
my-
is doing better. Amphi shares us some pictures of how goddamn insistent
There's
this man was for some
more!
dogs pics, despite her saying that's her boundary. I absolutely hate how much this man keeps trying to push boundaries because he's so horny he
Does
needs
this
pics to
bot
get off
send
to.
nudes?
Gross. Jury shares a screenshot where Tora casually admits that he
my
does deliberately
goodness.
lead on a lot of women,
It's still
that he doesn't
going.
actually like them back,
It's
and then he
still
tries baiting
going,
Jury
dude.
into thinking she was the special one. That's so fucked up and beyond disgusting. I hate filthy behavior like this. People's emotions aren't yours to toy with. Baku shares some screenshots
think
of their
that's-
own as
that's a
well.
relatable
They show that
topic for
Tora
anyone.
admits he finds their design hot, wants NSFW art together, continues to call them cute despite Baku admitting they have a partner, and then even tries to get their IRL name. This is definitely harassment. iCandy shares her experience as well, and these screenshots are just... I can't even. This guy is so shameless in just how he asks for nudes, being horny, and even wanting lewd audio. Like, what? This is for real harassment.
The
Not even
man
asking
asked for masturbation pictures. What are you doing? You can't be doing that, dude. How did you think this was gonna happen? You had 22,000 followers. Kids watch you. Children watch you, dude. You have to be a... You have to set a good example.
consent beforehand. Bruh. Wu shared some screenshots as well with her interaction with Tora. Tora admits he followed for selfies, which demonstrates his thirst for physical appearance, and says he's her type because she's not a bitch. Which, huh?
What?
Bro, your standards are so fucking dirt low, that's insane. Whose skull emoji response is so accurate. Miri shares her experience as well. Like others who've shared their experience, Tora responds pretty sexually and tries to lead her on about Miri being his one and only. He also did try to get personal information
we're
like
disavowing
IRL pics
this
and
guy.
location. Miri also expresses
we
worry
must
that
find
talking
him.
about him positively
We
in the
must ship him
past,
off to an
such as
island.
calling Tora a harmless himbo
Okay.
and meeting other good people
Don't
through
worry,
him,
girls,
may
we're
have
gonna send him
accidentally given
away.
the impression Tora was good to others
they
when
will-
he
he will
still had a
never
relatively
find you.
clean reputation.
We'll make sure to take
I
his
just want to
internet
say,
too.
personally,
Okay, he has
do
to.
not let
we'll,
the guilt
we'll,
eat you
we'll
up.
send him away.
It's hard to know in the
All
moment
right, he
whether
ain't going
someone
to
is
prison.
truly
He's
good or
going to
not.
an island.
Many
There's
like
no
to think the
escape.
better of someone, and Tora was definitely one to take advantage of that given trust to use
the
for his
only
own
way.
gain. Hindsight is always 20/20. Danny was one of his
Dude,
viewers who found
he's still
Tora when they were
going.
going through a rough time after breaking up with their boyfriend. I can understand the sentiment of wanting to look at
we're
2D
taking
boys when
his
you feel
router.
lonely. They are also an artist and drew fan art
2D
of Tora
boy.
and began hanging out in the voice chats in his Discord and began to get closer. Unfortunately, Tora took advantage of a moment of weakness, and Danny started to have
course he
feelings
did.
for Tora.
Of course
He
he
asked
took
for
advantage
material
of a
from
moment
Danny,
of weakness.
which
Why
Danny
wouldn't
did
he?
send due to having said romantic feelings, and it was consensual up until June. Screenshots show Tora was leading them on, which I can only imagine
Wait,
is rough to
oh.
see in hindsight.
Oh my goodness.
Danny also mentioned how Tora
He's
asked for
getting
some
them.
art comms from her, but he wouldn't always pay. But the worst straw was that after
Bro,
Lily
hit
confronted
on the
Tora about his assault
Valorant
on March
VTuber
15th,
furry.
he called Danny to let her
Yes!
know, I love you so much, and I care about you a lot. And then he's trying to save his own reputation with a close
Well,
fan by
don't
trying
worry.
to explain his situation with
This
Lily
guy
through his own
this
bias.
guy got blocked off of
But
all
in that
social
call,
media.
he said,
He's gone.
It's good that you didn't like me. I
This
hope
guy's
you weren't
dead.
expecting me to go to Mexico and see you.
He can't
Which, in
stream
my
no more
opinion,
anywhere.
is-
He can't exist.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
They
That's
blocked
so
all of
fucked
his
up to say.
accounts.
First, you lead
This
someone
guy-
on for
this
months
guy
to
got-
over a year,
he's
and then you
gone.
just say that before you dip?
Till the
Fucking
ults
wild.
pop up. Yeah, he ain't giving up, dude. I'm getting
I'm so
anime
sorry this
commercials
happened to
from
you,
all the
Danny.
VTubers.
May you be able to heal. Vortex subtweeted about Tora around the end of June in 2023 with the following.
There's
There's this male VTuber that follows me that has been really disgusting towards
He
a few of my
wait,
female presenting
follow him?
friends. Since I unfollowed him, he keeps going back to me, following and unfollowing me for some stupid reason. At the time, they got backlash for subtweeting rather than just blocking, but their reasoning is
Bro.
pretty sound in that they didn't want this guy bothering their friends
Are
about
you
why he was blocked.
insane? No one
Then it
is
turns out
safe.
he instantly knew
He's
the subtweet was about him.
Following
which,
this person
bro,
around.
you know your behavior is wrong when you can tell a subtweet is about you. But anyway, he tries to apologize and explain his behavior with, I'm sorry if my behavior has not been to your liking, and I like to clean up my timeline of following often, so I refollow because I eventually remember. Oh yeah, Vortex does really
Are
good
you
art.
insane?
Like, what is
You
this shit
are-
apology?
Wait.
Bro takes no accountability,
He's
and if you like
following
an
and then
artist's art,
unfollowing.
stop following and unfollowing them because you either like their shit
'Cause-
or you just want their clout. Disgusting, but thank you Vortex for speaking out back then. Dine met Tora in mid-2022 when he was 15,
Wait, this
going
is
on
a
to
gu-
16. On none of Tora's
Dude,
interactions
the
with
little
Dine were
boys aren't
NSFW,
safe
thank
either.
God.
You got a
There were still some
15-year-old
suspect
here.
things. Tora would often call Dine his favorite little sibling, and even wasn't entirely against meeting
You're
up
right,
with a
no one
teenager
is safe.
in public.
Not even the
Even
boys
jokes at
are
one
safe
point about,
from this guy.
hey FBI, if you're watching this, I'm not a groomer. And said that if he met when Dine was 18, he won't get
Not
arrested.
the little boys.
Like, just for reference, Tora's around 25 or so. And this
Tora's
is just
25.
yikes. I can't imagine talking to someone
No.
10 years younger than me like this. That's freaky. I hope Diane can recover well from this. Rin is also a minor who had the unfortunate situation of interacting
Please.
with Tora. He often called Rin cute and said, I love you a lot. Tora did seem to have some sense to ask for her age multiple times, although that's kind of weird if it's more than once TBH, and said he's not sussy lewd towards minors, but then he asks for an IRL pic anyway of
Why are you talking to a minor in the first place? Let alone asking for their photo over the internet. And these are text messages. What is going on with your mind?
the minor. That's just gross as hell. I hope Bryn can recover from this as well. In addition, minors on the internet, please don't send any of your private information to people over the internet. This was ingrained in my head when I was growing up, and it's more for your safety than anything. Please be safe, kids, and try not to interact with adults in a private setting in any capacity. No DMs, none of that. You never know who's out there who will prey on your innocence. Zenith mentions how Tora sent her unsolicited kissing audios in her DMs. He did this because she mentioned she listens to a lot of ASMR, but there was no discussion about the kissing beforehand, so the unsolicited audios were, indeed, unsolicited. She did confront him to stop saying I love you to her and no more voice stuff, to which he seems to have reacted decently, but that's probably because he was flirting and doing this stuff with other women at the same time, so one lost isn't a big deal to him.
Shut up, lady.
Here's
I had
the
enough
examples
school
that Zenith
assemblies
provides.
about that shit.
Trigger warning for potentially disturbing content.
Wait, there's
You
a
can also
trigger
skip
warning?
here if you wish to avoid hearing this section.
Wait,
You're such a cutie. I want to kiss you. I love you. I love you, Zenith. You're the best. Glad to become your friend. You're so skilled at art. And you're very cute. And very pretty. I saw your immersion bricks. You really...
I don't know if I
You really are my type.
I can't go on.
I'm glad to get to know you a bit better. I like you.
I can't do it.
Mwah.
Oh, God.
At OnlineMetals.com, we're more than just materials. Our state-of-the-art operations and
And these are just the posts that have made it to my Twitter timeline since Lily's call out.
Why would he do that? Oh, no. It's so bad. Oh, bye. Some people need There's some people you just want to, just... We had this situation earlier. Lock him up. Chain him. We need some darts. Throw some darts at him.
Post. I'm sure there are numerous other victims of whom I haven't seen their stories, and for that I am sorry that I could not include everyone. But as we can see here from just these people alone, his behavior was repetitious and methodical in how he wielded his charisma, tried to lower people's defenses by buttering them up with flirtatious comments and compliments, while dating a partner, mind you. Just trying to find some sexual
he was
gratification for
dating.
this entire thing
Wait
to
a
those that would
second.
fall
He
victim
didn't
to his
even need to find anyone. He didn't have to use the audience or nothing. He was already dating someone. Dude.
love bombs and false praises. Needless to say, this man has been everywhere socially, interacting with so many creators, it's kind of insane. But when we see how this guy had over 22,000 followers on Twitter, it's kind of no surprise that many thought he was a big indie. However, did you guys know this actually averaged pretty low on Twitch in comparison? For the past 365 days from the time of writing this,
He only has 25,000 viewers. 25 viewers? What the frick? Peak viewers were 256. I want to go to this website. Prayson, do you have this? What is this website called? I want to know mine. What the heck? Hold on. Twitch stats tracker. Is it Twitch tracker? Yeah, it is. Okay, let's see here. Dawn of everything. Let's see what it says. Let's see mine right here. Here you are. Okay. Statistics. This is called Twitch tracker. So you're seeing his average views is 25 and 246. My largest stream I ever done. Here, I'll post this in chat so you can look at it. This is interesting. I actually had 50 with 690 at max. That's pretty neat. My hours watched were 26.0K. That's my boy. And I had less hours streamed than this guy. Look at this guy. Total followers, 2K. He had 2.5. Get wrecked, son. Get absolutely destroyed. This guy didn't even know what hit him. Freaking pedophile.
Script, his average was around 25, which if you consider he had over 22,000 people following him on Twitter, well, let's just say it really is true when people say that numbers on one platform really doesn't mean jack shit in another, especially when it comes to Twitter followers to Twitch viewers. Makes sense though. Twitter is nothing at all related to live streaming. But you know what I call this? Dude's a chronic V-tweeter. Yeah, you heard me. A virtual or VTuber tweeter. It makes sense though if you think about it. How else can this guy have racked in so many followers on Twitter, besides maybe botting? If it isn't making interaction bait posts, crawling in people's replies and DMs while practically sucking up to them, trying to seem like a harmless guy on the surface, and getting to weasel his way into existing networks of friends to find people to harass in the guise of being overly friendly and lewd. Wowee. Oh, and not to add more mud to this guy, but there's no good section to bring this up, so I'm just dumping it here. Throughout 2023, Tora held a few art contests. The prizes for each art contest is honestly abysmal, and I hate to think that people actually participated for this lousy reward of max $50 or $75 for the number one winner. Like, really?
11.
I've seen other indies hold art contests that gave out hundreds of dollars for the top 3 winners. And all this guy can afford is 50 bucks? Bro, you spent over $7,000 on Skebs. Where the hell did your money go?
11.
He even bragged about being middle class, so clearly
honestly,
he's
for
got something.
125
Because otherwise
followers,
you'd be
that's
lower
pretty
class
good.
or homeless, my dude.
That's really good,
The fact no one called him out on these shitty contest rewards actually baffles me. Dude shouldn't have gone away with it 4 times in 1 year. That's actually insane.
I think I lost most of my viewers because I don't stream as much anymore. I stream whenever I want, and I don't, am not consistent. I should be. I think I really should be. But I'm not.
But anyway, back to the timeline of events. After Lily's document on the matter came out and people began sharing their experiences to empower her voice, many indie VTubers took notice. Since in Lily's document, Tora mentioned dating someone, it turned out that person who dated Tora decided to come out and speak about the matter. This person is Mizuki Nemu, a sleep paralysis demon VTuber. His tweet reads, "I am gender fluid, male presenting. I have been dating Tora Karu for 11 months. There are plenty of misunderstandings, but I will not deny what he put Lily through is unacceptable." This document will be linked below if you are curious, but a quick summary is, Mizuki gives us a brief timeline of his situation with Tora, the date of their first date, the open relationship they had at the time, the transition into a closed relationship after the AX events, and basically sounds like he told Tora to put the brakes down on the flirting without outright saying he was in a relationship. Personally, I don't really see why people find the need to hide their partners regardless of content creator size. Because let's be real, you should never, ever assume that your favorite—
Wrong. If you're a girl, you hide your boyfriend. You don't let the internet know you have a boyfriend. All the simps will leave you if they find out. That's why women hide it. VTubers hide it. You can't let them know. Sorry. Look at Belle Delphine. Look how popular Belle was, and then we found out she had a boyfriend. Where is she now? Where is she now? She's dead now. Gone.
content creator is single and ready to mingle. First of all, that's parasocial AF and gross. Second, your
Sorry,
chances
lady,
are
that's how the
extremely
world
slim.
works.
Stop daydreaming and go touch grass if you need a partner that bad.
Mention
Jesus
that partner
fucking
on the
Christ.
internet, though.
Anyway, Mizuki feels how
Hey,
he feels,
no need
so
to,
that's
no need
that.
to curse, okay?
But the fun part of this document is this section right here. In one section, they say, what happened to Lily and many others is not okay. It was
No.
terrible and they did not
It was
deserve
bad.
that to happen to them. Please send them your support and kind words, and I send them all of my support and condolences to what occurred. Which is nice and supportive and true. Send your support to the victims. But in the very next breath, they say this. After much consideration and chats with him, I will continue our relationship. However, I have informed him that what he did is not acceptable at all. As a woman, it is never okay to make a woman uncomfortable. It is never
Oh, wait,
okay
no,
to
it is
beg
a
for
woman.
favors or corner us. I will do my best to help him understand the severity of this situation while concentrating in building a future with him, outside of VTubing.
It doesn't make any sense.
What'd you find?
All of these books are under $5 a
I
Sir,
guess there's
what? I find it extreme.
I guess there's a woman for everybody. I mean, you can, I guess, you know, even a pedophile has a wife that loves him. I mean, okay.
Extremely difficult
I
to
don't-
understand how you can
maybe I
stand by
don't
the
know how the world
victims, but at
works.
the same time continue to date and love the man
Grayson,
who
what are we
literally
doing wrong
assaulted
here?
someone and sexually harassed countless others. That's actually kind of wild.
Utters.
If this is one of those I can change him
What utters?
situations, I personally think that shit's kind of baloney. It's just a fictional trope that's not at all realistic because real
one
people
Apex
are
while
frankly
chatting in
quite
here?
difficult to change. Change happens if someone
Nice.
wants to genuinely change of their free will. You can't
Also
just
an ad.
bend or train someone to change. While I could speculate further, out of respect, I will just leave it there. Personally, I think it's a bad take, but you
Oh.
know, you do you, I guess. It
I
doesn't help
gotta,
that
I gotta
Lil-
get some water. I'm getting a little thirsty. I'll be right back. I'm gonna put the anime screen on for a little bit. I'll be right back. I don't like pausing in the middle of videos like this, but I got so thirsty and had to pee. Like, I mean, it was bad. I think
then quote
I had
retweets
like
Mizuki's
6 cups
post
of coffee
going,
today. to
I
do
debated
this.
holding my tongue on this, but why did you
Coffee's a
lie to me?
diuretic.
You confidently told me in private you were not going to be with him anymore. You do not support me and the other victims by dismissing this. I'm incredibly hurt. The DM that Lily received from Mizuki clearly says that he will break up with him soon and sending all the support needed.
Wait,
one can
he
only
will break
speculate
up with
that
him
talks
soon?
happened between Mizuki and Tora after this
Wait.
DM was sent, and Mizuki decided to give Tora another chance. But man, I personally would not give Tora the time of day if I were in his position. But you know, I'm also not dating a flirty,
Wait,
horny
wait,
man.
wait. Tora is gay. Wait. Wait, he's gay? He is gay the whole time. This guy's just a sexual deviant. He's just spreading his semen around. What?
So what do I know? But then, turns out, the next day they made
Tori's
another statement on the
bisexual.
matter. Mizuki says the following. Last post regarding the situation. I understand if friends/followers want to cut ties with me and where everyone is coming from. I said a lot before speaking
Semen
to
with
him
that
in person
semen?
as I believe
Yeah.
breaking up over text is unfair. I apologize for what I said before and my change of heart.
Oh, wait,
After
was it
8
a
hours of
woman to
talking and
man?
emotions, I learned a lot from him.
Was it a
I am not in
transgender?
100% good terms. We are starting from square one. I'm working with him to hold himself accountable for what has happened and improve. I believe he can, but you don't have to. All I ask is to respect my choice. From here, our relationship is private. What happens, happens. If we stay or break up later, we'll stay private. Thank you for
Why don't
reading.
you
I
leave
wish you and
him?
others a good day. Sleep well. Again, I still firmly do not believe one can simply fix another person, but you know,
No, you
You do
can't.
you, good luck with that. At least they did own up that they had a change of heart between when they messaged Lily to their documents, but still feels bad. But now it's Tora's turn for his own document, and oh god, it's a doozy. A link to the document and a mirror will be in the description just in case he finally decides to remove the document from its original source. But buckle up everyone, we got a long one here and I got some words to say.
Okay, I'm
It
ready.
starts off with him saying he'll take accountability. Yeah boy, we'll see about that. And then he has a TLDR about how he's going to graduate and disappear off the internet, basically. He then starts the rest of his documentary by saying
He
he's
did it.
thanking everyone who
He
believed
left
him
the
and,
internet.
bruh, this is
Get
not
outta
what
here,
you say
loser.
when everyone is canceling and hating your guts for being a sex pest. It's like this guy thinks he's lost a gold medal to a competition
more
and
than a
only got
sex
silver.
pest.
Like, bro, be for real.
He was a disgrace
Terrible
to
start.
all men.
He then has this paragraph to say, which I think is fun to pick apart. There are probably a lot of people who think badly of me from word of mouth, from seeing how I
Yeah.
may interact with others,
Okay.
and how I just generally post whatever I feel like saying. I am 100% sure there are many people that thought, that guy is a flirt, or that guy is a cloud chaser, or that guy artificially inflates his numbers, so on and so on. And you know what I think about this? He's definitely heard these at least a few times before in his career, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a nugget of truth in all of these. I mean, we know for sure he's a flirt and probably a clout chaser, since he most likely pounced on popular female VTubers when he still had like 1K on Twitter. And honestly, I refuse to believe this guy got 22,000 authentic followers on Twitter without some artificial inflation. Because this guy is just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to match up. But anyway, he continues, saying he tried to improve, but honestly his behavior seems to not really have been improved fast enough since this guy had many months of being with his partner to stop trying to sleep with other VTubers. And then he has this strange sentence of, forgiveness is provided
I'm
by the
sorry.
victims. That's a weird way to phrase it, and
relationship
while I suppose
person
it
I'm
isn't
in,
necessarily
intimate
wrong
other,
that the forgiveness comes
I
from
tried
the
to have
victims,
sex
it
with
also just
like
doesn't
13
seem
other
appropriate to say in his
VTubers.
apology document, knowing what this guy
My
did.
bad.
Continuing on,
Sorry,
he tries
community.
to insinuate Lily's document was more
Sorry,
misleading than it
fans.
was.
I tried to sleep
Spoiler
with
alert,
4 minors
no,
as well.
her document wasn't misleading at all.
mean,
He first admits to his
that's a
flirtatious
mistake.
behavior and
That's
says,
just a
100% of the
mistake.
time I was either teasing or making
You
a
don't
nasty
even-
joke.
I-
But sometimes
I
I,
just
clearly
like
forgot to
sexual
ask if something
content
like that
on
is
the
all right to
internet.
say. I had to learn a lot about conversing
breeding
properly
list?
in an online setting
I
throughout the
mean,
years.
that was
I
just
still
a
have more to
joke.
learn. I don't know where this guy got his degree in how to
like, I
talk like a
mean-
human being, but wherever he learned over the years has obviously
Get outta here,
failed
dude.
him. If your way of learning
just
how to
stop.
converse, even in an online
You
setting
can't
only,
fix this.
is to flirt and lead people on romantically to try to get sexual favors from, kindly go fuck yourself. Thank you. And go touch some grass. Maybe touch grass forever, actually. You kind of need it. Anyway, he tries to defend calling a minor
right.
cute, and then talks about the
She is
allegations
right,
of cheating
huh?
with his partner. According to his timeline, they actually went on their first date in April and didn't become exclusive until after the events at AX, aka after his assault, don't forget. But you can see in the screenshots, he still does say some NSFW things to people after this time. So is he really that innocent? Let's be for real.
She didn't learn.
This guy can't be
He didn't learn
committed,
after
and the
his
fact that he
assault.
had a little section
kept
trying to
doing
say
it.
he doesn't cheat is just laughable. I personally would consider all of his actions emotional cheating, and I would have dropped his ass if I was this scumbag's partner, but you know. Continuing on, Tora then basically sets
I
a
think
timeline for the events
most
between
normal
him and
people
Lily
would.
during AX. He basically confirms her story, says that during the Uber he was being petty and prodding her, holding her hand and pestering her because, quote, Our form of being annoying is to ask things such as, "Are you still my friend? Do you still love me? I still love you. Please don't be mad at me," and so forth. Sir, if your definition of being annoying is to constantly invade someone's personal space, touching them and verbally bothering them constantly while they're clearly pissed off at you, you need to learn when to keep your shit to yourself, because that behavior
Okay.
is not cute in real life.
But it's not cute, but like, we can look past that a little bit. I mean, I think he is socially awkward, and he was trying to figure out a way to really like appease the situation. Like, he was trying to make it better. I think. Is he in the wrong? Absolutely. But like, we're talking to a guy who lived on the internet here. He probably doesn't know what to do. I think he felt bad.
That's
he didn't know what to
harassment.
say.
And for God's sake, stop touching people so much. Damn. Anyway, he talks about the experience at the Airbnb, and I'll just let the document speak for itself. When he says, "This is my annoying, petty, and high-pitched voice that I use to annoy others." Even then, there was no response, and I finished by kissing her on the cheek, something that I unironically would do to my straight male friends to get on their nerves. Like what I said during the Uber incident, this shit is not okay. You did not get to...
Bro. If you're kissing your friends on the cheek and they're straight male, you're getting bitch slapped or bitch punched or kicked in the nuts. Okay? Alright? You ain't gay. You ain't straight. You gay. You ain't going around to your best friend and kissing him on the street. On his cheek. You're not doing that. You ain't doing that to me. We ain't even friends. No. You can do that with your family. You know, you're gonna greet them, and you do that little, kiss on both sides. A little bit, a little smooch on the cheek. That's an Italian thing. That's different. But if you're going to your friends and you be kissing them, they ain't straight. You ain't.
invade someone's
You ain't
personal
doing that.
space and touch them without consent in any manner. Even kissing on the cheek is not okay if you didn't sign up for it. This man cannot be so dense to not know how it can be perceived or feel for a woman to suddenly have a man on top of her and trying to kiss her. That shit is revolting. And if he is that dense,
This is
man
pretty
needs to
sick.
fucking get a reality check, because none of this shit
Reality
is okay.
check. He's
It
a
doesn't matter
weeaboo.
if
He
you say
doesn't-
you
he
weren't
doesn't
planning on
have
doing
reality
anything more.
check.
This shit is gross. This is 100% assault. Bill
Filthy
just admitted
Frank
to
already
it and
proved
doesn't even
this.
realize how his actions can
You don't
traumatize someone who
understand.
once
He was
trusted
before your
him.
time.
That's terrible. He then tries saying there's a gotcha moment in Lily's document where she says he apologizes, but not once in the screenshot he provides does he ever say "I'm sorry." All he says is "it's on me" and "I love you," which are not apologies, by the way. He also assumes that a clearly upset person saying "I'm not sure what more there is to say" equates to "we good." Like, bro, I know you're socially inept like a rock, but come on, really? It's clear she's still pissed off, but doesn't want to talk anymore because she's overwhelmed. It's not hard! Anyway, he tries closing this out by reaffirming he's never been intimate with anyone else besides his partner. And then he'll graduate and leave, and doesn't plan on coming back, which I really hope he doesn't come back because he's definitely not welcome. Also, he tries to cash out by selling his model and assets before he leaves, but the funny part is his own model mama denounces him, instead offering his model art to be free layer or rigging practice. They clarify in a later post that it will be art only and not the original files. It'll be downsized, which makes sense so no one can use it as a model. Nikto, who has done a few audio commissions for Tora, has publicly stated that Tora cannot resell his commissions. And with that piss poor excuse of an apology document, the guy got rightfully pounced on his replies and quote retweets. Not only does he never apologize to Lily or any named
Nope.
victims in particular, he fails to truly take accountability by never acknowledging the assault was
Why does he
assault
need
and that his
to?
harassment is harassment.
He got away
During
with
this
it
time
too.
of the fallout, Toro's profile bio changed to remove his header and all of his bio to simply say, "deleting on 3/20." His Discord had also become dark, with a black profile picture reminiscent of teenagers going through their brooding phase, even though this man is in his mid-20s. Later, the evening of March 18th,
now you stop
he
that.
said,
Okay? You got to remember, he is a man, and he is, as of our generation, they've proven that men go through their like teenage phase later. Okay? So even though he's 25, which we consider adult, mentally he's not. There's been studies that shown that the men go way different. Like they're going way later before they become more mature. So I'm sorry, I understand, but once again, I'm going to have to give it to Tora here. It's not his fault.
At these final words. Final additional message before I'll delete everything.
Well, no, it's his fault
I hurt a
for
lot
doing
of
all
people,
this crappy
and
stuff. But
it is my fault.
Like I'm saying,
It has been a long time
He
coming, and I have gotten what I
develops
deserve.
maturity later.
I'll be paying for it by losing everything and everyone I've known for this entire time. Oh, cry me a river. Please do not attack anyone else who may be involved or want to share their opinion. I have, of course, seen many nasty messages to myself and to many others. I appreciate all constructive messages that criticize me or want to believe I'll learn from all of this. Those who wanted to believe that I can be a better person are appreciated. I will also no longer be selling anything since you will need permission from the artist to do so. Any artist that I have commissioned is now allowed to do whatever they wish. I hope anyone affected negatively can move on in life. I won't be returning on any content creation platform. And hopefully this will all just be something to learn from to myself and everyone else involved. I could have just run away completely pretending that my time here was all a dream. I only made these final statements because I know a lot of people would want closure instead of you just left. Direct all of your hate toward me if you have any. Anyone else involved or making their opinions on the matter are no way at fault. Bro straight up tries acting like a martyr, thinking he had a positive influence in the sphere. Then, a few hours after this was not received well by the community at large, he deactivated his Twitter, deleted his YouTube and TikTok accounts, and his Twitch still remained untouched for that evening until it, too, turned dark the next day. It's fascinating, isn't it? This man couldn't even last to his final day that he said in his bio. He just up and left. Truly a pussy. Personally, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes against his word in the future and tries to come back on an alt. It is my hope that with this video, there is at least some archive and evidence to prevent him from doing what he did before to countless VTubers. I also hope this serves as a warning for those that do engage in similar behavior to Tora with their countless flirting and unsolicited NSFW messages to others, that your behavior is not appreciated nor welcome. One day, your actions will bite you in the ass. This is not isolated to male VTubers, by the way. I do not want you to come out of this video thinking, ew, male VTubers are cringe and flirty and gross. No, this behavior is found regardless of gender identity and sexual preferences. You have degenerates amongst any sex who think they can get in the pants of whoever, especially if they have a notable following on a platform. I hope VTubers can recognize this toxic, gross behavior for what it is and not allow giving these gross and vile people any sort of platform to have power or weight or clout over. This shit is disgusting, and I'm glad I finally have some energy and motivation to talk about it. And frankly, talk about any bullshit I experience here in the VTuber community. Because, oh boy, let me tell ya, so much shit happens here on a daily basis, it's fucking insane. And 2024 is looking to be quite a year in general.
More of this woman's videos
Most things aren't worth talking about, but when you see a fallout as spectacular as this one that many indies were left talking about, and the person in question has actually been run off the platform, it's kind of nice. Also, I want to emphasize before we end this video, that though I'll tend to be focusing on the bad eggs in the VTuber space going forward, there are tons, if not hundreds of indies who are just doing their thing and staying in their own lane and making wonderful content.
Like
For now, we can be relieved that this sex pest will currently not pester anyone else for the time being, and hopefully forever. In the meantime, please check out the victims in the description below. Many thanks to Lily for having the courage to speak out first, giving courage to others to lend their voices as well. Keep it vibing, everyone. Till next time.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, that was great. Let's go on to the next one. I hope everyone is enjoying that. I had a lot to say there. Wow.